Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. All right, everybody, welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm Dr. Cush. We are here today to do one of my favorite classes. Now, what the heck does that even mean? What does it even mean to say one of my favorite classes? Aren't they all my favorites? They're all basically my little children. I basically come in here, give birth to a class all the time. What right do I have to say that I am teaching my favorite class? Well, let me be very honest. You guys are not my first. I, for a long time, taught live classes in actual bars in places like downtown Los Angeles, in places like Santa Monica, California. Let's just say the greater Los Angeles area. I taught classes, and my favorite class to teach was always the fire class. Boy, did people like the fire class. Could I get people to sign up for the deep dive into gin class? It was tough. I'm not going to lie. Those were tough classes to get people to sign up for. But the fire class, always sold out. Always sold out. So now that we have our new addition to the show, this guy right here. Hi. I figured, why not, since we have such pretty shots to take now, why not do a fire class? Hey! So that's what we're doing. We are doing my world famous, at least in the greater Los Angeles area. And let me be very honest, to people that live in Los Angeles, that's basically the world. The world famous fire class. So that's what we're doing tonight. I'm going to walk you guys through 3 different cocktails, 3 different forms of fire to sort of zhuzh up your drinks. We're going to make those drinks. We're going to drink those drinks. I'm going to tell you a little bit about those drinks. And then we will part. We will go our separate ways. And then tomorrow, I'm doing another one of my favorite things. I'm going to the Renaissance Festival. So a lot of fun. A lot of fun in my life, in my immediate life right now. So hopefully you guys are in. But first, before we get too deep into this fire class, let me say hello to those of you sitting at the bar. Shawnee Panabaker throwing us a little William Joel. We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. Studebaker, Marilyn Monroe. Those are the 2 words I know from that whole song. So cheers to you, old Shawnee P. Here's our good friend Tiki Tom. Good evening to you as well, a Tiki Tom. Amy Beer is here. Amy Beer was able to give me a quick grammar correction. I did leave out the H in Dr. Cush's Flaming Old Fashioned. It's there now. I will tell you all about the controversy behind the Flaming Old Fashioned here in just a minute. Intrigue. There's intrigue. There's some backstabbery, and I'll tell you all about the backstabbery here in just a minute. Here is our good friend Moose, who is back. Moose is a busy guy, and Moose is also doing this at 3 a.m. So we can forgive Moose if he doesn't show up all the time, but we love that he shows up when he does, and it's good to have him back. Boy, the class feels better with Moose. Here's DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby, and because she won that, will get an extra week. Because again, moving it back a week, just so you guys know where we are. There's Jay Carter, the party starter, who is here, and he has his own sound effects. That's no way it's going to work, right? Nope. 1 second. Let's do that again. Here is Jay Carter, the party starter, and he has his own sound effect, and it goes like this. Which means the party started. Here's the host. That's me. Fixed it. Let's see. Who else do we have in the house tonight? We have... those are the ones that are talking right now. There's got to be other people. I think I saw Paul down here. Yes, Paul, let's cheer on Yukon Huskies over Alabama. Okay. Let's, honestly, guys, can we do that? Can we do that? I was online today watching all that controversy about the women the women's basketball, that cross check that the woman did, calling it a moving screen. Can't do that. Can't do that. I don't know why anybody's saying that that was a bad call. Good call. I don't even care about Iowa, but good call. Bon Bon. Hello, Bon Bon. Good to see you, Bon Bon. Always a Bon Bon night when Bon Bon is here. Cheers to you. Here's Stephanie Husband. I assume two people watching from that computer. Maybe. We'll find out later. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. Well, those are the people that are chatting. If you want me to say your name, if that's something that's interesting to you, comment, chat, say hello. Okay, let's get into this. Now, this class, more than anything, has to do with not exactly cocktail history, but more my history, the history of me as a bartender. And for those of you that are rapidly trying to find a way to turn this off because you don't care about that at all, just give me a second. Trust me, I got some hot tea to spill. I got some good stuff coming up. When I started as a bartender, we don't have to go too far back. I was not great at it. Just wasn't good. I didn't exactly know what I was doing. But there was a person that I worked for. His name was Kyle Simone. Kyle Simone has passed on at this point. Really a tough guy. Tough guy to know. A good teacher. Tough guy to know. Anyway, he was sort of taking this to this like beautiful, crazy new heights that I had not seen bartending done before. For me, I was surprised. I was shocked when I put coconut rum and some ice and then some pineapple juice on top, and it tasted delicious. I thought, oh my gosh, I am truly great at this. He was doing new things. So eventually, I moved to a bar where he was working. He was the head bartender over there. And at that point, people would come in and they would sit in front of either his well or one of the other bartenders' well, and they would ask questions. And at some point, I thought, you know what would be great? What if we just like instead of just having this be like a casual thing, why wouldn't we just say, hey, this corner of the bar for a little bit, we're going to teach classes before we started to get people coming in. And we did. We did do that. And eventually I took over those classes and made them fairly popular. I was doing them 4 nights, 5 nights, I think 5 nights a week. Did some at Santa Monica. Anyway, taught these classes, taught, teach. And eventually I came across something that changed my life forever. And that is fire in cocktails. I worked in nothing but dark bars. And in those dark bars, of course, you can find ways to layer cocktails. Well, if you can't see the layers, doesn't matter. Of course, you can find ways to add foam to cocktails. Okay, fine. But in a dark bar, it doesn't really matter. The one thing that really mattered in a dark bar was, of course, always going to be a big shot of flame going up in the air. So eventually I created my signature cocktail, which we'll get into at the last cocktail. We'll just hold on for a second, because I'll tell you what happened to it. And hopefully you'll be as mad as I am. Okay, we're going to start, though, with a great cocktail that was not meant to be lit on fire. But of course, in a dark bar, why wouldn't I light it on fire? I light everything. I light as much stuff as I can on fire in dark bars, because that's how you get people to say, ooh, we call it the fajita effect. We get people to stop what they're doing, look over the bar and go, ooh, I'll have that. What's that thing? I want that thing. I don't care what it tastes like. I have to have that thing. I need the attention on me for a second. So I started lighting things on fire, and I found this great cocktail. The original version of this cocktail was created by a guy named Ernest Hemingway. Now, I don't really have much of an affinity for Ernest Hemingway. I mean, I only have his freaking head. Oh, geez, Louise, that would have been much smoother if I did that in one solid movement. I only have his head on my bar. Oh, hello. Hi. Big fan of Big Papa. And let me just say something about Big Papa. What I like about him is his writing. What I do not care for about Big Papa, about Ernie Hemingway, was his ability to make a cocktail. Worst. Possibly the worst to ever do it. Possibly the worst person to ever make a cocktail. Even though the Hemingway daiquiri is probably still my favorite cocktail, he was probably the worst. One of his very famous cocktails, he made it for a book called So the Red Nose Goes, or this is back when books had two titles. Can we stop that? I think we have for the most part. It was called So the Red Nose Goes or Breath in the Afternoon. I think it's a dumb name. He created a cocktail called Death in the Afternoon. And in this cocktail was two ingredients. Two ingredients. Sparkling wine, most likely some champagne, and a little bit of absinthe. Doesn't sound great. Doesn't sound great. So modern bartenders have taken that cocktail and they have sort of fixed it. They found ways to fix this cocktail. And we're going to be doing the fixed version of Ernest Hemingway's Death in the Afternoon with a cocktail that, let me just say, has a much, much better name, which is Death at Dusk. So this is a great cocktail. I think we're going to go ahead and put it in this glass. Let's make sure that we can get this whole glass in the frame. We're just going to do a little frame adjust here. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good. And we'll pop this up over there. Oh boy, look at that. And then why don't we do just a, we're going to get just a little higher. And then next time we'll do this beforehand, but we'll get this nice and in focus. Oh boy, yeah, look at that. We've done it. We've done it. Okay, let's get into this cocktail. This cocktail starts off with an ingredient that a lot of people really, really dislike. They just really dislike it. Some of my bartending heroes, David Wondrich, being one of them, has said that this is akin to hand soap, is what this stuff tastes like. But I think if you use it in the right way, if you use a good version of it, I do think that this stuff is just fine. This right here is creme de violettes. Creme de violettes is a violet liqueur. It was a lost ingredient for a long, long time. In fact, the aviation, which is where this ingredient shines the most usually, for a while, nobody knew why it was called the aviation because it was just some maraschino liqueur, some lemon, and some gin, and that was it. Because they didn't have this guy right here to make the cocktail blue, like the sky. They just cut it right out. So anyway, for a long time we didn't know what this was. It was a sort of a lost cocktail ingredient for a while. I need a cough button. It was a lost one for a while, and now we found it. Even the guys at Giffard are making it. So this is I'm seeing here that people are having a tough time finding it. Dougie or Tiki Tom needs to find a bottle of it. Anyone have a recipe? Bonbon asks. I do not have a recipe for creme de violette, but Bonbon, you started something. We're gonna find some. We're gonna find a recipe for it. Anyway, we're going to be building this one, strangely enough, in glass. So go ahead and grab a champagne flute, something that has this nice long stem down here and a nice long bit up here because we're going to be adding some bubbles to this. You want the nice tall version. You want all this space for the bubbles to go. So I'll start off over here. We're going to go ahead and put in half an ounce of some creme de violette. Really is a nice color. I mean, it's this like beautiful popping violet color that's I really dig. It makes everything just sort of look, I don't know, it just makes it look mysterious almost. It kind of like if I put it up against my hand there, you can see like how very purpley that is. Obviously, this stuff is rancid. It'll make you want to upchuck your lunch if you just drink it by itself. It does taste a little like hand soap. So we're going to dilute this an awful lot. We're going to take this guy. This is called champagne. Technically, this is champagne, California champagne. It's made from California. It's made in California with champagne grapes. Technically, we can call it champagne. But we, of course, call this the okayest sparkling wine that there's ever been. It's Cook's. It's just fine. It's just fine. Go ahead and fill this up until you get right around here. We want to leave just a little bit of extra room for the last ingredient. So go ahead and drop this in, nice and slow. Obviously, if you go too fast, the champagne, which we are allowed to call this champagne, if you mix it in too fast, it'll bubble over because the champagne will react with the sugars in there, and it'll bubble over. Cool. All right. There we have it. It's a good looking cocktail. I mean, really, it's got a good color. I mean, if I just move away a touch, you guys can see it's got this really pretty blue color that we want. But there's one last ingredient. We want this to look like death. We want it to look like there is a cloud sort of falling over this cocktail. And in order to do that, we are going to be using this guy. This is called absinthe. It also kind of a lost cocktail ingredient there for a while. It was outlawed from 1911 to 2007. Now we have real absinthe back, and it's great for this cocktail. It is overproofed, so it's coming in at about, well, I can tell you. Why would I even tell you about? Why don't I just tell you how much it is? Oh, dang. It's all the way in the back. It's coming in at about 60% alcohol, about 120 proof. So what we know about floating ingredients is the higher the proof, for the most part, the higher the proof, the higher up it will float. So we should get a nice float on here. We're still going to go ahead and put the spoon in here so that we can get a nice runoff here so that it doesn't go too deep into the cocktail. We're going to put a bunch of this in here until we get a nice layer of floating green absinthe up there. What we really want is for this absinthe to form its own layer away from the bubbles, away from the rest of it. And then, since it is 120 proof, we're going to light it on fire. You got a nice layer. Oh, yeah. Can you guys see that? I think you can with this camera. You guys can see right here, there's definitely a layer. See where it's purple and now it's green right there? That's exactly what we're looking for with this. It's exactly what we're looking for with this. It is that's an ideal way to do it. We don't ever want to just take a torch to anything. We want to take a torch right to our toothpicks. And then we're going to put this right here. And then we're going to slowly go here. And then let me just turn this light off real quick. I'll show you guys what we got going on. This should go for a while, but in case it doesn't, I want you guys to see that we definitely have a little flame going here. This is a flame right there, living right on top of our cocktail. Don't start the show over, Cush. That would be the right way to do it. Turn these back on. Does this still work if I have this right here? Yeah, you guys can still see that. Look at that. Look at that amazing flame. Really kind of cool. That will last. Let me get this here. That'll last for a long time. That will absolutely flame out for a long time. But in the meanwhile, we have one last ingredient to add to this. And that is going to be one of these. This is a maraschino cherry. We're going to go ahead and just drop this right through. I think we should put it on this camera. We're going to drop this right through and have that sort of become its own little thing. Drop it. That'll flame up, get everything going. And then when we want to get rid of it, we want to just give it a clap over its head. Oh. And there we have it. That right there is the Death at Dusk. An amazingly cool cocktail. A lot of people, it turns out a lot of people really, really like, one second. Should have worn a white shirt so we can see the color. To be very fair, thank you, Rich. First of all, good to see you, Rich. Always a pleasure, my friend, when Rich shows up. Let me just say, I don't look good in white. So I would much rather that you guys miss the thing than have me look like I am a billboard in the middle of Billings, Montana. So we're going to wear black back here maybe about 20 pounds less. When I'm back in my fighting stance, I will be back to that. But this right here, an amazing, cool cocktail. Not super difficult to make, as you guys saw, as long as you can slowly put that absinthe in. You want to just put you want to put it in the back of the spoon like I showed you, drop it there, and give this a minute to sort of cool down. It shouldn't be warm. I'm just, if you guys see, I'm just grabbing it right now. It's already not warm. Because the fire is not burning the glass. It's not like catching onto the glass. Obviously, it'll heat up the glass a little bit, but it's just really catching those alcohol fumes that are coming off of there, burning those up so fast that it doesn't heat up anything other than the alcohol. So you get this kind of cool thing. This is it. This is the cocktail. So cheers to you guys. Obviously, let me give you one more little piece of advice. The reason that I drop the cherry in as opposed to like lightly putting it in there, one, when you drop the cherry in, it brings up some of that champagne, so it actually gives it that big blast of yellow fire. Yellow fire burns less hot than that blue fire. That blue fire was burning very hot. That yellow fire is it's a less deadly, less hot fire. So it brings up some of the champagne that gives it that. So it gives it that like last little flush. Also, the cherry going through the absinthe will mix this whole cocktail up, so you don't just have a big old thing of absinthe on here. I mean, if you guys look now, if you look now, there is no like layer of there is no layer of this. So cheers to you guys. Here is the Death at Dusk, created originally by a guy named Ernest, but eventually changed from bartender to bartender. Yeah. First of all, you gotta like absinthe. You have to at least be somewhat into absinthe in order to get into this cocktail. However, you also have to be kind of into lavender hand soap. And me personally, when I was a kid with a little dirty mouth, that's the soap my mom used. So it does remind me of childhood that I have this delicious lavender to look forward to. Very nice. Okay. That is that. Kyle, do you want this? I know. Let me just say, one of Kyle's favorite cocktails. He used to come in and come into this bar and order it. Thank you guys. This is awfully nice. That was awesome. Says Bon Bon. That's awfully nice of you. Cheers to you there, pal. You got. Oh, we're gonna have to here. We'll do the transfer like this. You grab it underneath, and I'll just grab it here. Got it. Could work. Just as slowly as you can. Don't worry about people's time and energy, and just the dedication that I have to this show. Just take up all the time you can. Perfect. Cool. Okay. Anyway, that's very simple. A cool way to show people that you have bartended once or twice before. I think that's the way to do it. Cool. All right. Next cocktail. Let's get into it. Why would we even put the brakes on now? We are kicking through. When we think of fire cocktails, we're often immediately brought to the beauty that is the tiki drink. When we think of like a fired up cocktail, a cocktail that has all that like flames and it's just making a big mess everywhere. We think of a cocktail that is in the tiki genre. So we're going to just make a basic tiki cocktail tonight, probably the most basic tiki cocktail that there is, by a pretty basic dude himself named Trader Vic. I mean, I'm not going to say he's a basic bitch, but listen, he is basic. Stole things. What is this from? Dang. Oh, that's okay. Basically, we're going to be making a cocktail that was called the Trader Vic Sour. But we're going to be making this Trader Vic Sour into a bit of a theatrical show. We're going to be throwing some pyrotechnics in there, and we're going to make this something else. So we all, of course, know Trader Vic, a liar, a cheat, a scam artist, a guy that's helped push tiki from place to place. Really, really nice. That's the best thing he did. Other than that, he just sort of stole other people's ideas. This is also what I like about this cocktail is it is a bourbon tiki cocktail. So hopefully you guys are into bourbon. We do have 2 bourbon cocktails tonight. We're going to use some of this. This is, of course, Rittenhouse. Is that what it was called? Rittenhouse. Oh, now, dang. Give me a second. Now we have to fix this because we got to get everything else back into. Oh, yeah, look at that. And then let me just make sure. Oh, yeah, that's all in focus. Looking great. Okay, this is Rittenhouse. This is actually rye, not a bourbon. But it's Trader Vic did not start. He did not start with tiki. He actually ran a place called Hinky Dinks. That was not a tiki establishment. In fact, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I don't do a lot of history of Vic. If I remember correctly, it was like a hunter's lodge type of vibe going on in there in the middle of Emeryville, California, or it's right around that Oakland area. So he was a guy that had a ton of other liquors. He wasn't like Don, who was only dealing in rum at the time. He had a lot of other liquors, so he was able to bring in these other liquors. And we got to give him some credit. We don't have to, but I'm going to because I'm the bigger man at this point. We're going to take some of this. This is a 100 proof rye, and we are going to throw in 2 ounces of a 100 proof whiskey. Beyond that, we're just kind of making a sour. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Yes, thank you, Bonbon. 1 second. Let me just, I will take a bow if I can. Let me just get this right here. Bonbon says, Hinky Dinks was cabin-ish place. Good one, Dr. Cush. Let me just get up. I do remember things. Beyond this, it's just a sour. He's just going to make a sour, but he's going to switch in one ingredient. And that's cool. That's how cocktails are created. So I can't really take too much away from him on that. But, you get to then say it's Trader Vic's sour. Just a sour with some more shot. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and grab this guy. This is a lemon. We're just going to slice this lemon right here in half. Look at that, baby. Ooh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, we're going to take off the sticker. That is unprofessional. Unprofesh, we call it. We need 3/4 of an ounce. Put this away. 3/4 of an ounce of some lemon juice. Oh, right here. You guys are going to have to forgive me for a little bit. With the addition of the new camera, I did have to switch some buttons around here, so I will be pushing the wrong buttons every once in a while. All right, this is where this cocktail becomes a tiki cocktail, I suppose. It brings in a tiki ingredient. Now, I'm not positive that you get to just straight out call orgeat a tiki ingredient. I'm not positive you get to do that. Because orgeat existed long before tiki ever did. In fact, there's a great cocktail by the professor. The professor, is that what we're calling him? Jerry Thomas, the professor. Well, there's a great cocktail by him created called the Oriental cocktail. Now, I know that's not a great thing to say anymore. Idle is not alone. But that's what the cocktail is called. And it uses orgeat. But when orgeat found its way into tiki, it sort of burrowed in and didn't leave. So we do like the orgeat. This is just homemade orgeat that we use here. We're going to go ahead and let's put in 1/2 ounce of some orgeat. There we go. This orgeat should stay for a while because I put some rum into it. So there's a little extra rum going into this. This is also just a little bit of simple syrup. Instead of flavoring the entire thing with orgeat, we wanted some simple syrup too. So we're going to go ahead and put in 1/4 of an ounce of some simple syrup. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Right there. Put this all away. We are going to grab a piece of shaken ice. Right here. Drop this in. Drop this in here. There we go. Drop her in there. Excellent. And we are going to give this a big fat shake. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I don't know which button to push. We'll go here. Oh, we'll go here. Kind of eye level. All right, I have pre-prepped a glass for this. We want some crushy ice. So I got some crushy ice here. Go ahead and throw this right in here. Have a good looking drink. It's got a little bit of creme to it. It's got that like deep richness that sometimes we definitely want, sometimes we definitely don't want. But the thing that I have right here is the other part of the lemon. This little lemon right here does have a hole in it. So we can't just fill that up with whatever we're going to light this on fire, which is fine, because that's not how we should light a fire with this stuff anyway. We're going to throw this lemon right here on top. Hopefully that floats for the most part. Yeah, it floats for the most part. So we have that. There's a lot of ways to get that big tiki flame going. What do I do with it? I have a, give me a second. Oh, it's right here. Just so I don't make a huge mess. I know Kyle hates when I make a huge mess. There's a lot of ways to get that big tiki flame, that like blowtorch thing going. The best way, however, that won't affect the flavor of your drink, at least it won't affect the flavor of your drink much. You can do it with 151 rum, obviously, but if you're adding a new rum into your cocktail, okay, that's affecting the flavor a little bit. You can do it with a big sugar cube, but when that starts to melt, you're going to get a sweeter drink, and there's no real way to sort of control that. So the best way that I have ever found is I just keep some stale bread. This is just stale, old, regular old bread. If you want to, oh, it's right here. If you want to, you can do it with a crouton, or you can make croutons. Just don't do any kind of flavored croutons. For a while, I was wondering why my cocktails weren't tasting great, that I was lighting on fire, and I realized it was because I was using garlic and herb croutons, and that's no way to do anything. You can't use garlic and herb croutons. It'll make your stuff taste like garlic and herb. And then we add kind of a special secret ingredient, and that is this guy right here. This is just lemon extract, pure lemon extract. Anytime you make a pure lemon extract, you are adding a lot of alcohol. In fact, that is one of the main ingredients back here. It just says alcohol, just alcohol. So that's what we want. We just want a little bit on, let's find our camera. There we go. We just want a little bit on this piece of bread that will soak up this whole thing. And now, right here, we basically just have a bomb. This is more or less just a big fat bomb that we are about to light onto the world. We also, in order to get everything we need, we want one of these guys. This is a spice shaker. Spice shakers oh, can't put that there. Spice shakers. In here, I have some cinnamon. You can put any spice you want in here, but I think cinnamon works the best. Since cinnamon and all the other spices that are ground really tight, they are basically just wood. That's what they are. I mean, they're just like types of tree that has been dried out. So they're perfect for lighting on fire. We want those in here, though, so we get a nice even layer of it. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and light this on fire. This should go up pretty quick. There we go. We get that nice flame. Dang it, I keep starting the show over because I don't know where my thing is, and I gotta pause the music. 1 second. Under music, we're gonna stop you. Perfect. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and take this right here. This is just cinnamon inside of here, and we're going to dump some cinnamon on top of it. That cinnamon should light on fire, and we should get a really cool sort of effect. So in here like this. Let's do that big like this. Oh, big like this. Here we go. Kind of cool. That is that. Now, of course, there's just a touch too much cinnamon in here. I'm going to scoop some of this out. I don't want so much cinnamon in my drink. Usually, if somebody is slightly more capable with this, they will just turn it right upside down and from far away. That's how you do it. The problem with it is this is not exactly a bar. This is kind of a different style of bar. So we're going to blow this out. I don't want to serve anything with this in it. I don't want all that cinnamon in there. But whew, there we have it. If you are looking for a place to really create some big pyrotechnics, a little bit of the lemon extract, a little bit of bread, some stale bread, and just some wood that is flavored. That is kind of the way to do it. So there we have it. Oh, we didn't taste this cocktail. Cheers to, a guy, just a dude named Victor Bergeron, who, let me say, did create some very nice cocktails, even if he was kind of a thief and a cheat and all that. Cheers. Oh, yeah. This is my towel tonight. Nice little thing going on here. Just scoop that up. Perfect. At Hele Pele, of course, in Seattle. Portland? Seattle. Oh, there we go. Okay. We lit something on fire. 1 second. Kyle, would you mind bringing the thing? We're on fire. That's what happens when you have a fire show. You have little fires. There we go. This one's out. Kyle's done it. Now we have to go turn the other ones off. Give it a second. We only have one more fire cocktail to go, guys, and we've already started the fire alarm. Sorry, Kyle. I didn't mean to do that. I think it may be. I thought it was our fire alarm. Bon was very confused that it was. Yes, no, it was my fire alarm. No big deal. Kyle came running in here with his dream board, his vision board. And oh, you might want to just keep that open for a second. Yeah. Kyle came running in here with his vision board, and then he started fanning the fire alarm, and we are all safe. So that's good. We've done it. Kyle, I guess, do you want to come in here, my hero? Do you want to come in here and get this drink? I think you're going to like it. Pretty good. Here he comes. Yeah. First of all, give everybody a big thumbs up because you are a hero. Yes. Well done, buddy. And I'll give you this as a reward. Enjoy it. Yeah, that's terrifying when you do that because you're not as talented as you think you are. Not as balanced, I think, as you think you are. Yeah. Kyle the hero. Cool. All right. Thank you, Kyle, for saving my life. You really, really saved my life. Kyle has earned a raise. Yes, I will double his pay. Kyle, what is 2 times just living here? I guess you get to live here twice. That's how that's going to work. Put this away here. All right. That was a lot. So that is a great way to make a big flame, big old flame in your house, or sorry, in your bar. That's the way to do it. Let's get into the last cocktail. The reason that I even do this class is because of this cocktail. My first real contribution to the bartending scene was this cocktail. Nobody else does it, not that I have ever seen. I brought it to a bar called the Association. I was already working there, but I created this cocktail I called it the Flaming Old Fashioned first. Now I've started calling it the Cush Old Fashioned or the Cush's Flaming Old Fashioned because, as it turns out, there is not much loyalty amongst thieves. The bars that I worked at after I left continued to make this cocktail, which of course is fine. That's just fine. That's a fine way to do it. But one of the workers that worked there, who I butted heads with every once in a while, he was one of the least hospitable people ever to be in hospitality. A very difficult man to work with, even though he was in hospitality. He hated guests, and that just was never my philosophy. I say, we should bring in guests. We should like the staff. I liked my staff. I hired them. They were my little chickadees. He did not care for them. He is, I believe, he's still there. Anyway, a while ago, he went out shopping this cocktail to different books. It turns out one of the books did eventually pick it up, and I'm not going to plug that book. I'm not going to tell you guys where to find that book because I hate that book. I really hate that book. The only person to ever, the person that created this cocktail was me, and the people that got the credit for it are that are them, and it's hurtful. That's one of those things, you don't think it's going to ever happen to you. You don't think somebody's going to go out and steal your idea, find a way. If they have no creativity themselves, then why why would they expect to create something? It's just much easier to steal something, and that's what they've done. Now, I've gone on to create many other cocktails. I love creating cocktails, one of my very favorite things. But this was my very first cocktail that I ever created, and it was sad to see it go. It was sad to see it sort of put into the world as something that it was not. So anyway, screw them. We're making it here. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I'm going to show you exactly why we do it. And I'm going to do it, I think, pretty well. So this is called Dr. Cush's Exotic Flaming Old Fashioned. Maybe the name was a little long. This is right here. This is just one little sugar cube. I use white sugar in this one, and I'll tell you why. I use white sugar because we are going to flame it up. And the white sugar is going to, and I've tried this with Demerara sugar. I've tried this with just brown sugar. I've tried it with all kinds of other sugars. The white sugar seems to do really well in this because it doesn't add anything. It doesn't add too much in the sweetness department, other than giving us this like really nice char that we want. So we're going to go ahead and throw in just a little bit of some white sugar. See what that looks like. There we go. Oh, let's get this out of the way. Throw in a little white sugar here. Then we're going to take some Angostura bitters. Now, every time I start to make this cocktail, people sitting in front of me would panic. Oh my God, you're putting in so much Angostura bitters. And if we weren't going to burn this thing up, you are correct. We're going to be putting in a lot of Angostura bitters. The reason being, though, because Angostura bitters is not known for its alcohol content. That's not what they're for. So they could make this out of, they could make the alcohol that is preserving the good stuff, the herbs and spices in here. They can make that out of anything, and most likely do. They most likely make it out of, I don't know, beets. Maybe they make it out of cane. Whatever's left over from whatever rum they're producing down in Trinidad and Tobago. They can make it out of literally anything. They could make it out of old, dirty fingernails if they wanted to. They could. So we don't care about that stuff. So we're going to burn that out, and we're going to keep all of those big herbs and spices in here. So we're going to be putting in about 10 dashes of Angostura bitters. So you'll see me put in 20 because it's a half dasher, but you want to put it in until it is starting to coat the floor. So let's go over here. So we're just going to there we go. I've made a mess. The little half dasher really did a number on my finger. That's going to stain. But this is what we're looking for. Let me bring in bitters cam right there. That's about the amount of bitters we want. Do you see how much bitters we got there? We want about that much bitters in our cocktail. Then we are going to crush this bitters in here. You can, of course, you don't have to use a cube. You don't have to use a sugar cube. You can just put regular sugar in there. But I found that putting in 1 sugar cube's worth is a great way to do this. All right. Next thing we want to do is light this on fire, but we have to prep before we do that. We're going to take this guy right here, and we are just going to slice off a long duke or a long ribbon of orange. We're going to set this right off here to the side. See how little of the actual orange I brought in here? We have some pith on here. That's what we're looking for. We want it to be nice and firm. We want it to be nice and firm. So then we're going to take 2 toothpicks. Never, ever, ever, ever do this by putting the lighter directly into your cocktail. All you're going to get is butane. Butane tastes horrible. Trust me. I have, like an idiot, tasted butane before. It's not ideal. We're going to take this guy and we are going to light these right on fire. Get a nice big flame going. And then with our less dominant hand, we're going to be spinning this. And what we want to do is basically light the bottom of this cocktail until you can start to see flames coming out of this drink. I'm going to give this a big spin here. And then we're going to squeeze. Oh, dang it. Was that there the whole time? Okay. We'll probably do one more of these then, because obviously we don't want to have that in the shot the whole time. That is a kind of an issue. Why don't we do this one more time? Let's, Kyle, can I get one more of those glasses? Should be somewhere right there. But we're going to I just want this good shot, guys. And there's nothing I like less than letting the Steelers win. So Kyle's coming back any moment. Makes sense, Kyle, why our lovely Dr. Cush dislikes Steelers. Yeah, that is this is kind of my what do you call it? My origin story. Kind of a bad news. Yeah, perfect, buddy. Thank you. All right, let's just do this one more time so that I can get it going. We're gonna take just a little bit of sugar here. Oh yeah, perfect. Give that a close. We're gonna take just a little bit of sugar here. We're gonna drop some sugar right into our glass. We're gonna do about 20 dashes. Sorry, about 10 dashes of some Angostura bitters. Right there. We are going to give this a nice crush here. This one, yeah. Give this a nice crush here. Dang, it's right there, huh? Give this a nice crush here. I moved it. I moved it. Thank you, Kyle. Okay. New cameras. We're going to take these two guys right here. We're going to light this up on fire. We're going to take our non-dominant hand and we're going to spin. Oh, we didn't get an orange peel ready. Let's get an orange peel ready. Take this guy right there. Get that orange peel ready. Drop that there. Make sure nothing else is in the shot. We're going to take 2 toothpicks. Switch cameras every once in a while. We're going to take 2 toothpicks and we're going to go right here. Light that on fire. Take our non-dominant hand, pick this up and start to spin. We want to light the bottom of the glass. You'll start to hear it. Then you'll start to see flames rushing out. They're nice and blue, so it's tough to see with the camera. We'll give this a nice spin here, and we squeeze. And we drop that in. And that is the base for Dr. Cush's Old Fashioned. Beyond that, you can start to add anything that you want into this. If you want, thank you, everybody. The glass is still in shot here. Sorry. I don't know what to do. We're gonna figure this out. At this point, you can add anything you want in here. Some brandy would be just fine. You want to do some dark rum? Absolutely. That's a great way to do this if you want to add anything. But I always like to add either a 100 proof rye or a 100 proof bourbon. We're going to stick with Rittenhouse today. This is a gift from our good friend Paul. We want to grab our Rittenhouse here and add 2 full ounces of some 100 proof rye. There we go. And obviously, if you want to do this right, you're going to want to add 1 large cube of ice. We have this right here. Look at that. Look at that clarity. We're going to go here. Oh, okay. We're going to learn all about where my angles are. Go ahead and put this right in here. Excellent. Throw this here. And we want to give this we don't want to give it a cinnamon stir. We want to give this a big, fat stir. Obviously, that sugar has now started to coat the outside of this. So we want to give it sort of a hefty stir to get all that sugar out from the tops of this. The fire in this should help the sugar melt into the liquid quicker as well. So don't worry about giving this a big stir. The reason that we use 100 proof, the reason we use 100 proof whiskey is so that we can add that extra water into this. We want that extra water to sort of cool down that whole the heat that's coming off of that bourbon. Also, we want it to cool down the glass. We don't want to, hand somebody a hot glass. We don't mind it if it's just a little warm. Maybe just a little warm right here on top. But the good news is the fire in here wasn't lighting the glass on fire. It was lighting all of those flames, it wasn't lighting the glass on fire. It was lighting all of the alcohol vapors coming off of here. And it was burning them up really quickly, fast enough so that the glass should not get very hot. The big questions that I get all the time about this cocktail are, aren't you burning off the alcohol? Well, in this one, no, because we don't care about the alcohol in Angostura bitters. It doesn't matter. That's not why you drink. You're not drinking it for the quality of the ethanol in Angostura bitters. What you're drinking that for is the amazing secret mixture that they have of the spices that they throw in here, the barks and the all that stuff. So that's not a big problem. Also, even if we were lighting the bourbon on fire, which we aren't, but if you were, you would only lose a little bit of that alcohol. Obviously, you would lose some, but you wouldn't lose all of it, and it would still be just fine. The other thing that I get is you're breaking so many glasses, aren't you? Aren't you just breaking glasses? No, I have never, ever broken a glass doing that technique. I've never broken a glass doing that technique. The reason being, I would assume, is first of all, I buy tempered glass. It's important that you buy tempered glass to put your cocktails in anyway. If you're doing this in crystal, yeah, you might have some issues. All right, so don't do this in crystal. But if you're buying crystals, stop it. But if you buy tempered glass, the tempered glass will expand and contrast with or contract, expand and contract with the heat that's going in there. Don't take it while it's on fire and dump it into an ice bath, and you should be just fine. So these are not any kind of special glassware that I'm using. It's just normal glassware. So that is that. Let me just say hello real quick to Cameron. Please tell me how to spell this. Camruxon with an X. Our lone Twitch watcher. We don't get a lot over on Twitch, but the people that we do, we love. Thank you for watching us over on Twitch. If you want to join the party, we do have a party going on over here at YouTube, but I think I might not have the Twitch look. I think maybe I don't look twitched out enough. So good to see you, Cameron with an X. Cheers to you. We're making fire cocktails tonight. Not just really good cocktails, cocktails that use fire. What did Espen get up to? After 2 days wedding party, you should have thought I had enough of this cocktail, but I'm still here. Good to see you. Good to see you, Moose. Moose. Moose is still hanging in. Okay. Oh, I guess I should drink this one. Anyway, in the end, and this is what I've taken from this. This was, you get broken up with, and you think about that for a while. You have some friends. Turns out they don't like you anymore, so you don't get to hang out with them anymore. You think about that for a while. These are some sad things that happen in your life. The stealing of this cocktail for me was hurtful. I didn't like it. Made me want to stop for a little bit, but I didn't. I kept going. In the end, as long as you believe that you have more in you, then you keep going. Honestly, if I had thought, oh, this is the only good cocktail, tweak. I didn't invent the old fashioned. I just did the tweak. If I thought that was the only thing I had in me, and they stole it from me, and then published it, and made money off of that, I would have been. If I thought that was the only thing I could do, I would have quit. But I don't. I have more. I have so much more cool stuff ahead of me. And if they have to resort to stealing things in order to get their stuff done, then you know what? Their best days may be behind them. Mine are right in front of me. So we are still hanging out there. Listen, we even have a brand new camera angle. Who even thought a new camera angle was possible? I thought there were only 3 camera angles. Turns out there's 4 camera angles that are possible. This is the Dr. Cush's exotic flaming old fashioned. That is the preferred nomenclature. So if you ever see anybody else trying to say that they created this, please tell them shush. Cheers. Yes, it really is the best way to do. Let me just since clearly you guys are doing it, but I also I think Pee Wee wants to say something. He wants to say,
"Are you Dr. Jinga Janga?"
Pee Wee doesn't always make sense. Anyway, even if crappy stuff happens to you guys, keep going. The reason that I love doing this is because of this cocktail. I'm going to keep switching that one. The reason I keep doing this is this cocktail. I was so enthralled when I created something that I could call my own. That it just filled me with pride. It filled me with like everything that I needed in order to I don't know, feel a bit fulfilled. I was able to stand on my own 2 feet and create a great cocktail. When it was stolen from me, that bummed me out to no end. But I remembered back to it and I thought, you know what? We will freaking do it again. So hopefully, whatever adversity you guys are running through in your life currently, just remember your best days are coming up. Don't let the bastards steal your old fashioned. I think we should get t-shirts. Don't let the bastards steal your old fashioned. That's the way to go. Okay. We're running out of time. Let me just remind you guys. Let me put my hat backwards and remind you guys. Let me put my hat forward. Otherwise, it won't match the edit. Don't forget, guys, to like, subscribe, and share, and comment, and ring the bell for all these things. That is important, not just to me, but to the world at large. Oh, dang it. Kyle has a point. Kyle, let me just say before we get too deep into it, Kyle today was outside and he was spray painting the spinner. So now the spinner is no longer a hunk of weird silver. It is now a beautiful, shiny black. It spins and it lights up. Look at that. Kyle, I'm going to give you one of these, Kyle. I don't always give Kyle one of these, but I'm going to give one to him right now. People gasped at how beautiful it was. Kyle, we'll have to give you one of these. Well done. This is absolutely gorgeous. The new spinner is nice and black, and it blends in. It's not that crazy silver anymore. It's got everything we need. So Kyle, great job, buddy. Great job. You not only saved us from a potential fire today, but you also painted the spinner black. Good work. Spinner looks great. Thanks for the fun fire class. Cheers, everyone. Thank you to the husbands, to all of you guys. Let me just here. I'm going to put this up so you guys can all pop on over, say hi, invite guests. Do this right here. Yeah, hashtag Kyle the Hero. Please do not spread that. Go ahead, guys. If you want, join the link right here. If you guys want to join me for what do we call it? We call it the Fernet Core, the Fern Core. If you guys want to join me for the Fern Core, I would love to talk to you. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe and share and comment and like whatever you guys see me doing. I'm putting up these cut down videos as much as I possibly can. I appreciate that you guys don't get angry with me when I don't get them up, but I really am working on them. I'm working on new techniques to get these things up. So whatever you see those, like them, share them, duet them. I don't know. Remember also that these classes will always remain free, but if you can't help out, there's a couple ways you can do it. I have a Patreon right down there. I have a Venmo right down there. I have a PayPal right down there. That helps keep the show in booze so that I can continue to experiment with this stuff, create new cocktails, et cetera, et cetera. If you can't help out financially, I totally understand. These are tough times. Listen, nobody knows better about these tough times than I do. If you can help out, another way you can help out is by sharing the show. Share it to somebody that you like. Tell somebody that you like about it. Tell somebody about it that you like. I don't know. Tell somebody that you like this, and then have them come and be part of the show too. The bigger the crowd gets, the better this crowd gets. And you guys are an amazing group that brings people in and says nice things. And then the last thing you can do is show up. I have classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays here at Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I also do a class, or I do a show over with my friend Tammy, like 1 or 2 Fridays a month at Mixed Cocktail Hour. Join me over there. That is that. Join this link. I'm going to run the Patreon feed right now so we can see all the patrons. And after that, we will come back here. I will do a quick shot ski with everybody that wants to join, and we'll go from there. What on earth do we always say when we first meet people? We say, okay. Yeah, okay. It's okay to meet you. And then what do we say when we are leaving those people behind? We look them right in the eyes and we say, bye. Bye.
I'm in danger.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
No.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
That's all I am. Just a regular human bartender.
Yeah!
Wow. Okay.
Today's secret word is
Okay.
please save your questions until I'm through. tiki. Word is okay.
Well, we have a shy group tonight. Nobody is drinking, so I instead will have a shot by myself. I think that is. Oh, not from that one though. I'll have a shot by myself. We will celebrate. Oh, there we go. We'll celebrate the end of this week and take this all alone. Who's a sad fella? Oh, get this out of the way. We're gonna figure this out. I promise. Okay. Cheers. The time has come, my little ones, to talk of other things, of ships, of shoes, of sealing wax, of cabbages, of kings, and why the sea is boiling hot and whether pigs have wings. Don't worry for this one. Bon Bon. I'm just joking. Don't worry about it. I understand. Bon Bon lost a hat. And listen, we love seeing Bon Bon's hat. So that's a very weird thing for people that are just watching the show for the first time. But don't worry about it. It was good to see all of you guys. Cheers for showing up to my very favorite show. And for you guys being my very favorite people. Just know, I think about you guys like all the time. I don't know if that seems weird or not, but I was like, oh, geez, I wonder what DCW Clark's doing today. Or, I wonder if the Greens are just like, are they just like sitting at home or like, what are they doing? Or like, I don't know. What's Tiki Tom up to? I think about you guys. So to you guys for making the show the best possible version that it can be. Forgot that was meant though. Oh, that's different. Aspen looks like a train wreck. So we'll see you next weekend. Moose. Okay. As always, guys, you're the greatest. And let's do this again on Tuesday, where we'll be making a cocktail called, I think we're making the Astronaut. Stick around to see the Astronaut on Tiki Tuesday. Until then, as we always say,